Hey guys, good morning. Big A coming to you live from the station Camp Greenway. Hey, I broke my little device that holds my phone, so there's a little bit of vibration in it. My apologies for that. Hey, I want to talk to you about this past weekend for me. 2 weekends ago, we had the live event here in Nashville, and to be honest with you, I was toast after that was over. Took kind of an easy week, and then a friend of mine, Mark Nichols, which is in our mastermind group, the Iron Sharpens Iron, he invited me to Birmingham, Alabama. He owns 2 Chick-fil-A's there. And he said, hey, I have a little time off. I'd love for you to come and spend a couple of days with me. He lives on a private lake there. And he said, I know you like to fish, and we'll have our own private tournament. So we went down, and I spoke to his leadership team on Friday and absolutely had a blast. Man, you talking about some quality people. Mark Nichols is leading the charge in Birmingham, Alabama with leadership. His guys and ladies are off the chart. And I want to tell you, Mark, what a great time I had there. Thank you for trusting in me to speak to your leadership team. Mark and I had an inordinate amount of time together. I mean, we went out on the lake Friday afternoon. We fished till 2:30 Saturday morning, went in, took a shower, laid down for a couple hours, got up really early Saturday morning, and then fished on Saturday. And it was an awesome time. But there's a couple of things that we talked about that I think would be important to you. And as I walked this morning, I was thinking about the value of some of our conversation. One of the things is say what you mean and mean what you say. And we don't do that oftentimes, even in the workplace and even at home. And I see this over and over and over, the lack of consistency and meaning what you say, and kind of putting the gauntlet down and saying, hey, this is not a joke, this is what I really mean. And I see this primarily with parents with young children, and they wonder sometimes why their children kind of get away with some things that they probably shouldn't, is because we don't exercise the authority that God gave us over the children, and we just disallow ourselves from making those tough calls, and then our children misbehave and they grow up in a world not realizing that people mean what they say. Listen, I know it's tough, it's hard. Listen, I raised 2 daughters, and I know it is very difficult in those early stages to say what you mean and mean what you say. But I want to encourage you to do that for a couple of week period, because when you start counting, and I'm going to put you in timeout if you don't do this, and you tell them you're going to spank them and you don't, or tell them that they can't go somewhere and they say, please, please, please let me go, and you give in, let go, you're going to be dealing with that for the rest of your life. And I just want to tell you right now, that especially these young parents, you're just starting, always try to say yes every single time. Whatever they want to do, always try to say yes. But when you do say no, that's it. I was raised in a home like that. My mom was more fair than anybody on the planet, but when she said no, it was over. Like, there was no more discussion. It was like, she goes, what part of no don't you understand? Like, no, we're done. And one more word out of you, and there's going to be some severe consequences. And she always followed through. She was a lady of her word. Well, that kind of carried forward in my family as well. But now I see over and over and over where kids say, let me do this, let me do that, and you finally give in. They wear you down because it's easier to give in and say yes. You're not doing your children any favor by doing that. I want to encourage you today to mean what you say what you mean, and follow through. The second thing that we talked about, because we're both at our 50s, and so we kind of reminisced and talked about things that we had done right, things that we had done wrong. One of the things that we feel like that we did right was get people around us at an older age, like 20, 25 years ago, get involved in these mastermind groups and get accountability groups and get people around you. And we both agree that if we'd done that in our early 20s or early 30s, I can't even imagine the level of success that you would have had, because here's what's happened. You don't want people to know. You're like, I don't need anybody to tell me anything. I know exactly what I'm doing. I don't need your input. And then when you get older, you go, man, I wished I had had some input and some thought around some of these things that I was doing early on that I could have used other people's advice. So those are the 2 things. I just want you to know what you're saying and you mean it, and really follow through with, if it's in the corporate world, if it's in the entrepreneurial world, at home, whatever it is, just be a man of integrity or person of integrity. Say what you mean what you say, and then get people around you that are trusted advisors, people that can help you in a very intimate setting, people that you would tell anything to, so that you get good advice, so that when you do say something, you know that you have great clarity in it. So I wish that you guys could have been a fly on the wall, because we had this huge amount of time out on the lake that we went into deep conversations about many things. But those were some highlights that I really enjoyed talking about, was the value of having people around us say what you mean and mean what you say, and you'll develop a good team, a great family, and you'll have huge success. Well, I better get back to my walk, because I'm going to get in bad trouble with my accountability group if I don't lose a couple of pounds this week. So you guys have a great day. I'm Big A, coming to you live from the Station Camp Greenway. We'll see you.